Hello everyone. I'm going to do a video review of the Dreo Pilot Pro tower fan on the right and the Dreo Pilot Max tower fan on the left. I bought both of them for separate rooms. The main difference between the two is that the Pilot Pro on the right will run 24/7. It does not have a permanent timer unless you set a timer, which, you know, if it's running silently, because as it runs it doesn't have any lights, you might forget if it's running slow and silent, and you might leave your home and it'll be running unnecessarily. While the Max on the left has a built-in timer. It will auto shut off no matter what in 12 hours, even if you do not set a timer. Other than that, so the Pilot Pro on the right has speeds 1 through 9, while the Max on the left have speeds 1 through 12. And I used my cell phone and a decibel meter app on the phone, so it's not going to be really accurate. And there's a little bit of background hum from outside noise. But what I find generally is that the Max on the left is about 2 to 3 decibels lower in noise than the right. They're both very quiet fans for the most part. And they don't, even though it's advertised at 25 by the manufacturer, but that's also in a silent lab, I find that they both start around, so the Max starts around 31, 32 decibels at speed 1, while the Pro on the right starts at around 34, 35 decibels. And then you'll have the Pro on the right. It mostly stays silent up until about speed 6. At speed 6, you're looking at decibels of about 43, 44. And then at max speed level 9, you're now at about 46, 47 decibels. While on the Max on the left, that one stays below 45 decibels, so 42, 43, 44 decibels up until about speed 10. And then from speed 10 to max, it will go up higher than the Pro on the right. If you're at max speed 12, it'll go up to about 47 decibels, 48. But I still find that is lower than other fans out there, box fans, other tower fans. And that's assuming you need to run it at maximum speed. I rarely run it at that speed. I'm usually at about 4, 5, maybe 6. So it's quiet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one without speaking, one level at a time, and to verify I am 6 feet away from them. So 72 inches, 6 feet. Okay, so we're going to start with the Pilot Pro on the right. And again, the price port's similar. I think they're about $30 difference, but here we are, level 1. Level 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. This is where it starts getting noisy. I won't say noisy, but audible. 7. 8. Max speed 9. Now there's a slight whirring noise from the motor at the bottom, I don't know if that's just the model I got or if that's typical. And that's only on the Pilot Pro. You'll see in the Max tower on the left, at top speed 12, I don't hear that bit whirring noise in the motor. I don't know if that's the bearings or just the function of the speed of the sound and a small enclosure. Alright, so I am going to set it back to 1. I'm going to turn this one off. I'm doing it by hand because if I use the remote, they both activate at the same time. So let me turn on the Max now. We're at level 1, again 6 feet away. Level 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. Now it's more audible. 8. This is level 9. So the Pilot Pro on the right maxes out here. Level 10. 11. Maximum speed 12. So at this speed you could hear it blowing air, and you could hear the motors, the motor I should say, spinning, but at least to my hearing I don't hear that slight whirring or bearing noise that I did in the Pro. And again, I don't know if that's just my model, my specific unit that I got, or if that's typical or whatever. But here's level 12 on the Max. I'll turn that off. Here is level 9 on the Pro. And I'm going to go back to the Max, and I'm going to bring it back to level 9. Now I can't measure the wind speed to tell you how much CFMs each of them are blowing at specific speed levels, but it's a very focused, direct airflow, and I'm satisfied with it. I rarely use the higher speeds. I'm at 4, 5, or 6 typically, and that is good enough for me. Other things in terms of height, obviously they're the same. The Pro on the right, this is the menu it has. So you can begin having it rotate, timer, mute it. So the fan only has one button. Just trying to focus the camera. You can only increase from 1 to 9 and back to 1 again. You can't lower the speed manually. You have to use the remote. The remote has a plus or minus, while this only has 1, increase the fan. And on the far right is the changing the modes, like sleep mode, automatic, etc. But it's clearly, you could clearly read the labeling. For the Max now, it includes to lower the speed as well as increase the speed. And then to change the modes, to oscillate, power, and timer. That is to set times that you can have 1 hour or more, but by default this will auto turn off in 12 hours, even if you don't have a timer turned on. So it's up to you to decide whether or not that's a feature that would annoy you or that you prefer. Because again, if it's running silently, this one, you're not going to see a light on it, and you're going to forget that this thing's still on before you leave your home. While this one, I mean, it might be 12 hours later, but it will shut off. Beyond that, in terms of handling, for the Macs, you can put the remote here, and this also serves as kind of the handle. There's no like real built-in handle, but you can put one on here and one on here, on the curve or whatever. While the Pro, it serves as a handle, but also as like a cubby hole, and you could store the remote there. Besides that, the bases are different. So I do like the Max base better. Bear with me for a moment. I gotta flip them on their sides. Or I'll just lift it. So with the Max, it has a red screw, I think is more stable. It holds the tower unit to the everything's molded plastic, but at least you have a large red screw-in base, which I think if it tips a little bit, it's less prone to maybe breaking, versus on the Pro. The Pro has just little clips. I don't know if you could see it well, but there's clips that go into a track of on the pedestal, the base, and then you rotate it a little bit and they lock in place, and that's all plastic as well. But again, they're smaller clips, so you know, as long as you're lifting this straight and like, it's not flimsy, to be clear, it's not flimsy at all. But I'm just thinking personally, I have more confidence in a whole red, you know, that red turning screw for surface area to stabilize and hold this thing onto the pedestal, versus, you know, 2 clips on one side, 2 clips on another, and then you rotate it from 12 and 6 o'clock to, you know, 3 and 9 o'clock to lock in place. But other than that, they're both sturdy fans. But again, both the same height. So I hope that helps. All right, goodbye.
Hello, fellow Amazon shoppers. If, like me, you are struggling to decide between the many Dreo fan options that are available, I thought I'd share with you a very brief review of the this Dreo tower fan, the smart tower fan, which is the it's the dearest in the category of fans, retailing currently at about £159. The key difference between this one and all the other ones in the range is that this one, which you will see in action, has the 120-degree oscillation, and also has 12 power modes. I've bought one for my mother, and I was so impressed with it that I immediately decided I was going to get one for myself. So you see here, this is the fan oscillating at the level 3, which is barely audible, and you can then increase the power, which I will do now, to that's fan now at 8, and you can see you can probably see and hear the action here. So it's becoming stronger. I will bring this all the way to its maximum of 12. And you note it's really, really a very, very powerful fan. The setup is quite easy. The base you put together, I mean, the instructions are provided in the booklet. There is a remote control which mimics the layout on top of the fan. And here you control the power. So 3 to bring it down, obviously 4 to bring it up. Here you control the oscillation, so you can pause it if you like. This is the timer, which I haven't yet tried, but I imagine that it will be quite straightforward. And in here you've got the control to set different modes, and there are 4 different working modes. There is the automatic mode, auto mode, which is, as it says on the booklet, the fan adapts to the ambient temperature. The normal mode, fan runs at the constant speed. The natural mode, fan runs at alternating speeds. And let me put that on just so to demonstrate. It's the one with the, that's the fan in natural mode. And if you look, what's going to happen, I'm going to put it higher, and just bear with me because you will see that it will start. Not sure if you heard that, but it you can see that the power kind of alternates. And then the last mode is the sleep mode, and you can adjust this starting at the level 12, which is the highest. And what the fan will apparently do is that every 30 minutes it will reduce itself by one level. So the first, let's say if you start off at level 12, after 30 minutes it will then go down to 11. After 30 minutes it will down to 10, and after another 30 minutes it will go down to 9. Obviously if you're setting it up, actually the lowest level will be 3, and it won't go down from 3 onwards. So you can only go from 12 all the way down to 3. Again, the remote control is really easy to operate. It came already with the battery included, and it's quite convenient when you're obviously sitting far away and would like to operate your fan. So I'm very, very pleased with this purchase. I mean, I keep it at about level 3 working through the day. Today, for example, was a warm day in London, and it provides a lovely breeze, and it's more than sufficient for what you need. So hopefully you found this helpful, and helps you when you're deciding between the other models.
Guys, I'm on my bed and feeling how far the breeze goes. And we have a California King, which is, I guess, 6 feet. So the fan is probably about 9 feet or 8 feet away from me, I think. I'm not so good with calculations of feet and stuff, but I feel the breeze all the way up. And on both sides of the bed with equal intensity. And the once very, very hot room is feeling a lot cooler now. Yeah. So I know in the US and colder countries you may not need your speed that high, but definitely if you're in a hot climate like in the Caribbean or any other part of the world where it might be super hot, right now this fan, it definitely will bring some comfort and cooling. It's on auto mode right now. It's like an auto mode. It's supposed to, it adjusts to the ambient temperature of the surroundings. the speed. Yeah, but remember it's not an AC, so don't expect AC breeze. There is the Dreo fan I saw with the capacity to put ice for cooler breeze, and you could also just put ice and render this one too if you know it was super hot. But so far I'm super satisfied with it. The setup was pretty easy for me who don't deal with tools at all and hates to follow instructions. The instructions is pretty simple. And the manual is simple too, not very complicated, and doesn't have the words and weird orders. So I would give it a 5. A 5. Definite 5. 5 stars. Yay! Well, I hope this review helps someone. This other reviews helped me in purchasing. Oh, and this is the which model is this one? I just purchased it. It has a 5-year warranty. It is a Dreo fan. I think it is the Pro Tower Max. I think that's what it was. I can't remember right now. And my manual is for, I guess, all Dreo fans. So no, it isn't. It actually isn't.
Mi vola tutto già. Alla 12 non è possibile. Ecco.
Alright guys, so we got the Dreo tower fan here. There's not much to say because it's just so efficient. It has not too much features, but it doesn't need to because it's just as good as it needs to be. It's powerful as all heck. At 12, this is ridiculous power. And you put that on oscillate, you might chill everyone out a little bit too much. As far as the remote control goes, it's very simple. Everything that you need. If you want a nice fan, doesn't cost an arm and a leg, isn't that loud, at 12, obviously there's gonna be some noise. But, and you like the simplicity, modern design, it took me like 45 seconds to put together, then this fan is for you. And I love it.
The remote has a nice tactile feel to it, but it's smaller than expected and would be easy to lose. The remote uses disc round batteries that have been unreliable for me in the past, and also the storage location for the remote on the fan leaves it easy to have it come out. This is probably the nicest fan I've owned, but it is also pricey. The fan's very quiet and well built. Overall, this fan is well designed and looks to be one that will last a long time. This fan's a winner!
Alright, so this is the fan. Really, really nice design. Check that out. The only thing that I am not liking about the fan is that I am having a hard time trying to hook it up to my Wi-Fi. I keep having to troubleshoot it. Every other Alexa device I have hooks up, but I am having the hardest time, which is one of the reasons why I got this fan, because it can be part of my home devices and it doesn't work. The only thing I can use as of right now is the remote, which is fine, but I honestly prefer to use Alexa with it. So that is a big, huge disappointment. Other than that, the fan is fantastic. fan. It's so quiet.
It is quiet.
So it has different settings. You can turn it up and it goes all the way down. And you can change the oscillating, how wide the fan goes. And you can set it on a timer as well. So it has a lot of different options.
Alexa, fan 12.
Okay.
As you can see, we have two different Dreo fans, both of them plugged in. One's blowing air, increases speed here, blowing air, as you can see, blowing air. Next one, not blowing air. 5, I'm going to increase the speed. 8, nothing. At 11, nothing. At 4, and here we go. At 4, it's blowing air. At 4, it's blowing air. You can see papers moving and everything.
I would say this fan is okay. I mean, it's quite plastic. So it has a remote. I'm going to turn it on. Let me clear it. There we go. It's on 10. It goes up to 12. You can turn it down. And it blows pretty good. And the remote, you can oscillate it with that. You could put a timer on it. Uh-oh, it's getting blurry. It's the remote. And you can put download the app to your phone and control it from your phone too. So I like it. And the air feels really cool. Feels good.
Disprove the prosecution theory. We wanted to talk to attorney Mark Garrifus about the trial. He didn't respond to our request. We wanted to talk to Scott